Okay guys, it's now time for another video response to one of coolduder's DVD collection videos, and this time it's going to be for me talking about my favorite 90s comedies. And for this, it's just straightforward comedies. And once again, just like the 80s one, I didn't pick every single 90s comedy in my collection, but I picked out some that are in my favorites and some that you should all check out. So, gonna start off with the DVDs. First one is one of the few Adam Sandler films I'm gonna include in this this collection, and it is Billy Madison, which is definitely one of the best Adam Sandler movies ever. And this is about Adam Sandler's character who's he has no job, he has no future, like basically he's nothing but a slacker. And when his father announces that he's retiring and he's gonna hand over his Fortune 500 company to a guy that Adam Sandler doesn't like, he gets raged about that because Adam Sandler gets raged about that because he was going to be the one to take over the company in the first place, and the reason why he didn't do it is because he didn't do very well in school, even though he graduated, and so he decides that he's going to go back to school and go through first grade through 12th grade all over again, and if he passes all the grades by a certain time, then he gets to take over the company. It's a really funny movie. It's my second favorite Adam Sandler movie next to Little Nicky. I know a lot of people give Little Nicky a lot of crap, but I enjoy it a lot. And the next one I picked here is Camp Nowhere. This is another funny summer camp movie. It stars Christopher Lloyd. It's about these kids who are going to camps that they don't want to, that basically are gonna predict their futures, like computer camp, science camp, military camp, that kind of thing. And the kids don't like that, so they get Christopher Lloyd's character to pull it off, to secretly pull it off for him, and there's like an abandoned camp that they go to, and they get Christopher Lloyd to pull it off to make their own camp where there's no parents, no rules, no nothing. It's a really funny movie, and stars Jonathan Jackson, Emmett Walsh, and Thomas F. Wilson's in this movie, who plays the police officer. Christopher Lloyd and Thomas F. Wilson also starred together in the Back to the Future trilogy, so this would be a good one to check out. I especially like the scene where one of the kids buys alcohol and attempts to buy alcohol in the supermarket with a fake ID. And the next one is one of the first movies to ever feature Target in it, which it's basically pretty much a whole movie that just takes place in Target and its career opportunities. This is about Frank Whaley's character, who every time he had a job, he got fired at every single one of them, but then he attempts to get a job as a nighttime cleanup person at Target, and it's just him in there all by himself, and they turn all the lights off on him, but then he turns them all back on and screws around. And then he saw Jennifer Connelly, who ran away and is basically hiding in the Target for a while, and he sort of falls in love with her. But at the same time, there are these two burglars who've been attempting to rob the store, and they're holding them hostage. This is a really funny movie, another one I'd recommend. Next one I picked was like the very first time I saw this movie, I fell in love with it. I don't know, it's just really funny. And it's Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. Excuse me. This is about Christina Applegate's character, who thinks she's gonna have the summer of her life, the best summer of her life. But she and her brothers and sister, they're all getting babysat while her mom goes on while their mother goes on a business trip to Australia for 2 months. But then when the babysitter passes, they try to hide her. But then they found out that she left her car behind, and then now they have a car to go wherever they want and do whatever they want. But then their car gets stolen, and the car had their money in it, so Christina Applegate's character had to get a job, and it's just a really funny movie. Definitely recommend this. And even though it's an HBO home video release, it's still from Warner Brothers, so... And the next one is Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels in Dumb and Dumber. There's also Dumb and Dumber When Harry Met Lloyd. That's a 2003 film, and apparently it's a prequel to the first movie. But Dumb and Dumber, everybody's familiar with this movie, I'm sure. They've either seen it or at least heard of it, so... Next one I picked is... I think one of Pauly Shore's first movies. And I think it's one of Brendan Fraser's first movies, too. And it's Encino Man. This is from 1992. And I believe this was Pauly Shore's first movie. Correct me if I'm wrong. But this also stars Brendan Fraser, as I said, and Sean Astin. It's about these two high schoolers who are wanting to dig a pool because they want to have parties during their senior year of high school, but they find a caveman in ice, and the caveman's Brendan Fraser, and they put him in the garage to thaw it out, and when he comes out, they clean him up and take him to school with them, and Brendan Fraser becomes the most popular kid in school. It's a really funny movie. I like this. If you want a good teen comedy from the 90s, this would be a good one, as well as Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. And the next two are the two Ernest movies from the 90s. And they're Ernest Goes to Jail and Ernest Scared Stupid. I talked about Ernest Goes to Camp when I did my favorite 80s comedies, but Ernest Goes to Jail I think is my second favorite Ernest P. Worrell film. Ernest Scared Stupid, I don't know. Ernest Scared Stupid might even be probably my least favorite. I mean, to be fair, if you're going to watch the Ernest P. Worrell films, watch the theatrically released ones. I wouldn't bother with the direct-to-video or with the direct-to-video movies. They're just not that great, in my opinion. And the next one is a Nickelodeon film. There's two Nickelodeon movies I'm going to show in this one, but this first one here is Good Burger. And of course, this is based off of the infamous sketch performed on the kids show All That, which stars Kenan and Kel. And I love this movie too. The first time I saw, and this is another movie where the first time I saw it, I fell in love with it, like immediately. Really funny movie. Sinbad is also in this movie, as well as Abe Vigoda. Kind of a weird casting choice. This is for Abe. I don't know what to say about Abe Vigoda being in this movie. I mean, if he wanted to be in this movie, I could understand, but it's just kind of a weird choice. This was kind of a weird film choice for him. Even though Abe Vigoda passed away last year, I'm not trying to drag his good name through the mud. He's a great actor and everything. It's just, this was kind of a weird film choice for him. And next is Arnold Schwarzenegger in Kindergarten Cop. And everybody's familiar with this movie if you're an Arnold Schwarzenegger fan. But this is about Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Pamela Reed, I think. Yeah. They go all the way out to Oregon to find the mother and son of a killer that Schwarzenegger was tracking down for years. And in order to do that, Arnold Schwarzenegger goes undercover as a substitute kindergarten teacher for all these pain in the ass kids, and him dealing with them. And all the kids like fall in love with him and want him to be their permanent teacher. This is one of Arnold Schwarzenegger's funniest movies when it comes to him doing comedies. Next one I picked is a soccer movie that I'm not sure if my sisters have seen this movie because they play high school soccer, but if they did, I'm sure they'd like it. And it's Ladybugs. Stars the late great Rodney Dangerfield, and it also stars Jonathan Brandis, who both passed away. Like Rodney Dangerfield passed away a little bit after Jonathan Brandis did. Like Rodney Dangerfield passed away in 2004, I think, and Jonathan Brandis passed away in 2003. He committed suicide, but Rodney Dangerfield passed away a few months after Jonathan Brandis did. But this was a great movie for the both of them, and I miss Rodney Dangerfield because he's just great. This is about Rodney Dangerfield getting stuck coaching a girls' soccer team sponsored by his boss's company, and his boss says that if this isn't a winning team, if he can't come up with a winning team, he's gonna get fired. So Rodney Dangerfield gets his fiance's son, who's a good soccer player, to dress up like a girl to help out the team and help out Rodney Dangerfield. This is a really funny movie. I especially like the part where Rodney Dangerfield gets thrown out of the bar. And next is the Leave It to Beaver movie from 1997. This is basically satirizing the show from the 50s and 60s, but set in the 90s. And I'm not sure if very many people have seen this movie, but it's pretty funny. It's about Beaver gets a bike for his birthday, and then like after the first day of school, a bully comes along, and he's doing all these bike tricks, showing off, and he ends up stealing Beaver's bike, and Beaver has a hard time trying to get it back, and this is a funny movie if you guys haven't seen it. And we're going to go ahead and stop here, and this is going to take several parts to do because I picked a lot of 90s comedies for this series of videos, but for this video response, but we're going to go ahead and stop here, and I'll see you guys in the next part.